The challenge is, I would say, probably every company holds on to every employee a little bit too long. And it goes the other way around. Employees hold on to employers a little bit too long. But how do we get here? Typically, it's because there is some lack of clarity. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Physician Growth Accelerator, a show where we break down your private medical practice systems into vitals, give you the tools to diagnose root cause of what may be restricting your growth, and prescribe what to do about it. I'm your host, Zed Williamson, and I believe that every system is perfectly designed to get the result it gets. The freedom that exists in that statement is that we are in control. If we don't like where we are headed in our business, all we need to do is tweak the system. Because whether we like it or not, it is the perfect outcome of the current system in place. Now, I want to talk about something today, and I know that you likely have a lot of beliefs about this subject. Sometimes when I do a topic like this in person, you'll see a lot of the slow head nods in the room with kind of a, I know, I wish we were better at this, and it's just one of those tough things. And it's specific to holding on to staff too long. And this is what's wild. We always get this feedback in business that teaches us or tells us that we do this thing. And it's when someone leaves, the staff goes, oh man, that was about time. Took you long enough. And you're sitting there going, I thought I was doing what was best by holding on because we felt like we were understaffed. And the challenge is, I would say probably every company holds on to every employee a little bit too long. And it goes the other way around. Employees hold on to employers a little bit too long. But how do we get here? Typically, it's because there is some lack of clarity. So what I want you to think about today as we chat through this is you may have a belief that you're stuck, that you're in kind of a forced corner, that you need that person, that if they weren't there, you're not sure how it would work or what the impact or how the rest of the staff would deal with this fact that maybe they got to pick up the slack of someone leaving. Or you think to yourself, we're not even good at hiring new people, so what's the point? At least this person is here and they're trained, so I guess I'll struggle with the challenges. So if you're in that state and you're believing those things, that's cool. By the end of this, I want you to be able to say that you're not stuck. And you can create a different result. So here's a litmus test. First thing. So I want you to ask yourself, would you enthusiastically rehire every single person in your organization today? And it's interesting what your mind does when I ask that question, but I want you to be aware of what your brain did. Because a lot of times it's, yeah, well, I'm enthusiastic, but we need, and we're already trying to get ourselves off the hook. Just make it a simple yes or no question. Would you enthusiastically rehire every single person in your organization today? Chances are that the majority of people are saying no. And that's okay. That's your first step, is recognizing it. So now what you need to do is dig into the beliefs behind why that is for you. What is the thing that you're avoiding, that you're concerned of? And here's what it can be. It can be, I haven't done a great job of communicating to that person that they're not really doing what I expect. So if I were to let them go, they would be completely surprised. So there's your next litmus test. Of anyone you thought that you would not enthusiastically rehire, if you did let them go, would they be surprised? If the answer is yes, you've got some work to do, which is cool because it's just a system to follow. But being aware of that is what's going to put you in a position of comfort and really in the driver's seat of your business. If I ask the question, and they say, and you're saying, yes, these people would be completely surprised, that means there's not really a reason from a system standpoint why they should be doing any better. And as business owners and leaders, we have to own that. So what I want you to say is that person that's frustrating the heck out of you, if they'd be surprised I want you to just say it. It's my fault. It's my fault. I got it. Now I'm going to take care of it. So what does take care of it mean? It's creating a process where that person isn't surprised. What is the exact thing that this person is expected to do that they're not doing? Do they know that it's expected of them? And if you're saying, well, they should, they've been here long enough, there's really no shoulds in business. We have to be extraordinarily clear. Every single day, if there is something that someone is accountable for, they should be able to walk out that day knowing that they achieved or did not achieve what was helpful to the business. And this doesn't need to be 10 paragraphs. It doesn't need to be an extraordinarily huge job description. It needs to be one or two things that are the most important thing for that person to achieve. Is it clear? And let's say they're good at doing their job. And you're thinking, Zed, this conversation isn't really working for me because I'm not saying they're not doing their work. I'm just saying they are a nightmare to be around. Got it. So now let's create the behavioral standards that someone must represent to be a good addition to your organization. And maybe it's just one or two. I like to keep things simple because when we think about changing things in our business, it can seem so overwhelming. And it's like, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. I don't really have the 3 years to go through this muck. I just got to handle what's in front of me today. I get it. Baby steps. That's fine. So what is the one or two things that they can be measured on that they must achieve? And then what is the one or two behavioral standards that they must represent so that you could actually say, man, I would enthusiastically rehire this person. I'd love to rehire them. I wish I had 87 of them. Now, that needs to be communicated to your people. It can be in group form, bring everybody into the room and say, here are the 2 standards of behavior that are in our role, in your role in this business that matter. And for someone to be here, you got to represent this. Make it super clear. Individual conversations regarding what you're accountable for. Like, hey, Billy, just want to make sure you realize, above all other things, it matters that you achieve A, counted this way, and B, counted this way. You got it? Anything in your way? You need any help? Any lack of clarity? Cool. And now you've created a system for them to follow. Because without this, the people are just wandering around doing whatever their brain is telling them is best for them. And sometimes that works for your business, and sometimes it doesn't. But we have to take control. We have to be the ones that own that outcome. And if you can get to the point, imagine being in a position in your business where if I asked, hey, if you let anybody go, would anybody be surprised currently? And if you said no, no one would be surprised. Think how healthy of an organization you would have being able to say no. A simple question, simple answer. And if you could say no, what are the chances that if I asked the question, would you enthusiastically rehire everybody? The chances are your answer would lean to yes. All it is a system. Remember, we are in control of the system, and the system creates a perfect outcome. If we don't like the outcome, it's up to us to change the system. And the staff, they're such a big part of your practice. That part of your system influences everything. So set the accountability. What's the one or two things? Set the standard. What's the behavior that must be represented? And communicate it. And you'll be on your path. If you ever want to check on the health of your business, of your medical practice systems, which we call vitals, go to physiciangrowthaccelerator.com and click on vitals. And we'll see you again next time on the Physician Growth Accelerator. Bye.